I heard a speaker. And
This is what Stacy was saying. Speaker. Testing 1, 2, 3. All right, the time is now 4:02, and I'm call this meeting of the Granbury Independent School District to order. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting has been duly called, and that a notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. The board will now adjourn into executive session pursuant to the following sections. Section 551.072, discussion of purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. Discussion of officers, employees, and personnel matter. To deliberate the appointment, employment, superintendent evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of public officer or employees. Staff recommendations. The time is now 4:03.
Muted.
2, the board is reconvening following the executive session. And we will now go into our facilities assessment workshop.
Right there. Sorry. I'm excited to introduce Scott Bean, who will be leading the overview of the facility assessment and was part of the committee that conducted it.
First of all, I want to thank the Board of Trustees and the administration for letting us come in and work with you, work with your staff to begin this facility assessment for the district overall. And we're excited that we were able to be a part of that. And we're going to just jump into a few things and roll with it and let you know some of the findings. Tonight's primarily an overview of what the dashboard is and what those are. We will provide you as board members a login this evening or tomorrow morning first thing to where you'll have access to all of the data on that dashboard, and you can start to dive in on that for your district specifically to where you can see what all is there, what's identified in deficiencies and those areas as well. So I will assume, I think I have the clicker. We'll get rolling. My name's Scott Bean. As Haley said, I am a former superintendent of schools for about 17 years. Been in public ed for 31 as a ag teacher first with the ag mechanics degree on that side of it, and then taught ag for a while, became an elementary principal, and then got really wild and jumped into the superintendency. Enjoyed being around kids and that part of it, and East Texas and Central Texas. Anderson Shiro was my last district, a smaller 3A school outside of College Station area where I was superintendent when I retired in 23, and went to work for TASB the very next day, honestly. Traveled down and did that. And they had done some work for us and they needed some help, and I felt the need to move forward and go into that direction. And so I became a facility consultant with TASB to work with school districts about their facilities and what we can do to help you out with those. So a little bit about me on my background. We have the header, the guy heading on that horse right there is my son. He's a graduate of Weatherford College, and that rope is amazing because it paid his way through college completely. And it's amazing what the little things do. He works in Granbury at Fastback Rope Company right now after he graduated from there. So he drives to Granbury every day, and it's been a pleasure to work here over the last few months, and I can have lunch with him occasionally. So it's a little bit about me. What do we do in a facility assessment, educational facility assessment at TASB? A lot, to be real honest. We evaluate a lot of categories overall for each facility. And in Granbury, I broke the facilities into 27 different facilities for the district, which we group some buildings together if their ages are pretty close. If they're independent campuses, we keep them separate. An example would be Emma Robertson's gym is a lot newer than Emma Robertson's elementary campus, so it's broken apart to where it's two different facilities when we start to look at that. What do we look at? We look at the site, we look at the building systems and components, safety, security, educational adequacy, support spaces, ADA, accessibility, staff wants and needs, because you've had staff, principals, administrators, athletic director that provided us with initial surveys of their facilities or the areas that they're responsible for, and we evaluate that as well. And then portable buildings, we don't really assess those because we do not believe that's a great educational setting in our side of it, and we recommend districts attempt to put permanent structures up for their students. We know it's not always possible, and sometimes you have to do what you have to do as a district, and portable buildings are the only resource that you have. Exterior areas that we look at, as I mentioned at site, is the size. Is it large enough to handle all the traffic flow? Is it large enough to handle what student activities may be going on that campus? Is the parking area acceptable? Is it accessible for people that want to come and visit your campus? how's the topography and drainage on that campus? Is water moving away from that building, or is water moving towards that building? Pedestrian services, our sidewalks, do we have trip hazards? Do we have areas that we have concerns about if people visit our campuses overall to handle the pedestrian flow in and out of the district? Street traffic, vehicular traffic, how do our parents get to our campuses? Is the flow okay? A lot of that, when we do assessments in the summer, we don't get to see, so we rely heavily on our surveys from our principals on how the traffic flows on and off the campuses. And then canopies, are students covered between buildings if they have to walk outside or not? That's not something that's very important in all districts by any means, and that's a local district decision on how you want to deal with canopies. Additionally, the meat and potatoes is building envelope, roofs, foundations, walls, doors, and windows. We talk about the building envelope extensively in our assessments, and because that's where mitigation and outdoor environment comes into our buildings, which begins to deteriorate those buildings, and causes us to have a lot more mechanical issues or maintenance issues in those buildings. So we pay a lot of attention to roofs, foundations, walls, doors, and windows. ADA compliance, I am not a compliance officer, but I have a high-level understanding of ADA to make sure that we meet the ADA recommendations that we should. A few of those could be noted in your district as well. Playground, athletic, and PE spaces, we evaluate those. I will be honest, our assessment is primarily for educational facilities, not necessarily for athletic facilities. So you'll see some numbers that may look a little different on football fields or field houses or things of that nature, but we still do cost evaluations on those the same way. And then campus security systems. With all the safety concerns nowadays, a campus is never going to be safe enough at the end of the day. So we're going to find a few areas that we can work on in all districts. Personally, I've worked with districts and talked to the safety security officers, and they say, we're 100% as good as we can be. I'm like, I promise you we can be better, because we can never do enough in safety security for our students. So we're going to continue to identify those areas and work through that. Interior areas that we evaluate, same way with ADA compliance. A great example of that is water fountains. Do we have a high water fountain and a low water fountain at every station where there is water fountains? Heating, ventilation, air conditioning, our HVAC systems, how are they operating? Our electrical infrastructure with our lighting and our communications and a data infrastructure. Do we have LED lighting? And how many of our lightings our light fixtures are covered up to make the room a touch darker for our teachers or students or whatever else, where we can adjust those with quality LED lighting. Plumbing infrastructure and restrooms, drinking fountains, flooring, what they are, doors, walls, cabinets, ceilings, campus security systems again internally, and then life safety systems of lighted exits. A lot of schools, it's amazing, don't have lighted exits throughout schools. Your campuses were very well equipped with that, no worries on that side of it. Additionally, additional areas in interior, specialized learning spaces with sped rooms and life skills rooms. Your libraries, are they adequately sized? Gyms, athletic facilities. Science labs, are they adequately sized and equipped? Band, choir, music spaces, art spaces, computer labs. Workspaces for our teachers, cafeterias and kitchens. Is that space large enough to feed the number of kids going through the line daily? Is our nurses clinic towards the front of the office area or close to the office area when we have an issue going on with a student? And then our reception space and administrative spaces, where are they located within the campuses? So as you can see, that's a lot of information, a lot of data that we look at overall. For your evaluation, there were 4 of us in district. We began the evaluation on June 3rd, 2025, and I completed all the dashboard work and all the notes and all the summaries September 24th of 25. It was myself, our manager of the North team, James Reese, an environmental specialist with TASB, Jason Buster, and also a guy that's moving over to the planning side and the facility side is Jason. And then we had an intern out of college that worked with us that collected data, measuring rooms and documenting details of what materials were in every room, named Reese Moore, that helped us out with that. So It was a extensive process overall. I was in campus, on campuses personally for about 20 days during the time frame we were there. I inputted the majority of the data myself into the dashboard as far as writing summaries and specialized report side of the facility findings. And I think that at the end of the day, and I believe at the end of the day, the data and the resources that are provided through this assessment is going to be very vital to the district in future planning for this district and to how to deal with maintenance and operations pieces of the puzzle for what we have. Our facility assessment is a like for like. So when I walk into a room and I measure it or I identify the materials, I'm identifying a carpet floor, a tiled floor, a tiled wall, or like if I'm in a bathroom, it could be a ceramic tile wall in a bathroom. It could be a 4x2 ceiling tile or a 2x2 ceiling tile, or it could be a deck. We identify every one of those types of materials in our dashboard to where we have a complete line of what materials are in this district and on every campus. And actually there's approximately 172 possible building components that we evaluate in a district. Obviously not every district or every campus has all of those, but we have the possibility to do that many. So moving forward, when you get your logins, this will be the screen that you will see in the beginning. Your username will be your email address, and then you will have a password that you will create when you get the email from Nexus, which is the company that created our dashboard for us. And you'll reset your password, and then you'll begin to have access to the live data on the dashboard. I'm going to go through a few of the example pages, and then we'll dive into one of the campuses here in a minute, just a little bit of it, just to show you around and how to move around through the dashboard. So this is the home page that you'll see in the beginning. You can see, and I'm struggling to read it, all the information in the center is where the campus is located, how many square feet the campus is. If you were to replace that facility, how much it would cost in today's dollars based on square footage to replace that type facility. The condition budget, which is the deficiencies that were determined through the assessment of things to bring it up to a new or like new status. Total enrollment of the campus, and then capacity numbers of the campuses, all of that is there. Then down towards the bottom, each campus would be listed for you to click on to get that information for each campus. Across the top right, priority projects, if you were to click on that tab and we are live, all the priority projects that were identified through our assessment would be listed on the far left column. Any additional projects will be in the middle column, and then on the far right, once we complete projects in a year from now, when I come back and the district's completed projects, we'll have a completed column that'll be identified and we can mark those off. Additionally, probably one of the best tabs in there is the HVAC tab on the next one over on the right, where it's going to have every HVAC unit in the district, its age, model number, serial numbers, if we could read that, and it gives a color-coded view of exactly how old your HVACs are for every facility in the district. We use a partner with us, E3 Energy Solutions, to help collect all that HVAC data, and they are an affiliate associate with TASB in doing that with us, and they help us out. The next tab over is the roof assessment tab, or the roof tab. All the roofs from every campus will be listed there as you scroll down, and they're identified what's going on with them, their age as well. We'll have a running number of age on each roof to where you know when replacement should happen. For example, a white single-ply membrane roof has about a 15-year life expectancy. How many of those roofs are over 15 years old, and the district needs to be planning for replacements of those? That'll be identified in that tab. And then there's pictures as well. Facility update survey, we'll roll to Dr. Varon. She'll probably do that at the end of about 8 months from now, 9 months from now, before I come back in a year to do the first year annual walk. She will fill out an annual update survey identifying everything that the district was able to take care of that is on that assessment. And then I will come on campus and district or in district and walk facilities and verify that those projects were done and mark them off of the assessment at the end. Equipment list, it's a new tab. That's why I forgot about that one. We had districts, especially larger districts that we've been doing this with, want another place to input their own equipment for capital outlay type equipment. And so we added this tab. We can submit and send you a spreadsheet where you can upload your own equipment data, go into that tab directly to where if you got boilers, maybe you have tractors and lawn equipment, major capital outlay type equipment that you want to keep track of age, you can upload that data into that link place in that tab there, and you'll have all that for your district as well. So that's relatively new to the dashboard. Priority projects, as I mentioned a while ago, everything's listed. Left side has the campus name and each priority project that was identified. Center column is additional projects when funds become available. And then the far right when completed. HVAC summary tab. As I mentioned, we'll have every campus. Actually, this one had to be modified a bit, and this is just a snip, obviously, of what it would look like. But when I first did Acton Daycare and had the dashboard completed, the HVAC hadn't been replaced yet on that campus. HVAC had all been replaced now on that campus. It's been updated and republished to where it's all green on that daycare facility. Roof summary page, same way, what I described, all the details. Square footage of the roof, what's going on with it, what our recommendation is based on its age, or how far past replacement it may be, will be identified there as well. Going to a specific site, so if we clicked on Granbury High School, the main building site, again, looks very similar to the district page, but this is only going to be data for that specific facility. On the high school. Again, this is a snip, so we're going to only get a portion of it, but you're going to see the square footage of that. It's nearly 400,000 square foot of that high school building, which is a large building for sure. A replacement cost of that, condition budget of that, facility condition index, which is a ratio of replacement costs versus what we're saying are deficiencies in a condition budget that need to be identified and addressed. Again, the tabs at the top, priority projects, HVAC, and roof assessments are all across the tabs at the top, the same way as the district page. If we look at facility findings tabs, here's where we're going to have the data. You know, that campus was originally built in 73. It's been renovated in 79, 85, 95, 96, 97, and 2016, if I remember correctly. And it's in very good condition overall in the big picture with its age. So you've done a good job with that for sure. Square footage across the top, replacement cost is a big number, and we can explain some of that in a little bit. Condition budget, and then the FCI is 5%, which is a very low number overall for a campus and a very good number. Underneath that, you'll see the green, yellow, and red on issues. If it's good and it's green, there's really no issues that we need to be thinking about addressing yet. If it's yellow, we have a few concerns. It's fair. Maybe some issues that we need to address in the next 3 to 10 years, 5 to 10 years, 3 to 10 years. And then if it's red, there's probably some areas that we need to address in 0 to 3 years on that campus that we want to look at in a deeper dive and deeper intel into it. Facilities details page, where I've described this honestly is where the rubber meets the road. On the far left is where you're going to see all the identified areas or all the identified building components that we address or we look at. The green dot, same way, no issues going on. Yellow dot, minor or moderate concerns. And then red dot, we have major concerns or we need to do some replacements there. But it has the type of building, structure, whatever it may be. It will say vinyl tile or carpet, something like that. And then it'll be graded on, or have much percent of the building, then it'll be graded on none, minor, moderate, major, or replace. And then it's going to provide an automated budget estimate for that. And then in the notes is going to be kind of a detail of what's going on with that area and what's taking place with that area overall. HVAC for the high school campus, a snip of that, same way. Great data there. Honestly, in my opinion, the HVAC tab is probably the best tab overall to where district can see a snapshot of exactly what the age are, and one of the most expensive things that you have to deal with and plan for is HVAC in your district. And then the roof looks just like the district page. It's just specific to the two roofs. Like on the high school, the majority of it's a white single ply roof. There's a very, very, very small section of gravel roof over the auditorium entrance right there that's never been replaced overall, and it doesn't actually have anything going on to inside. So I'm not sure I would do a whole lot with that personally, besides just trying to make sure it doesn't leak and become a problem structurally underneath that for the soffits in that area of it. All right, we're going to get into the homepage. Yes, sir. And we're going to go live on a few things. All right, thanks for bearing with me. Let me get Granbury up. All right, we're going to start through the drop down. We'll start with the drop down, go to elementary, and let's pick on Acton Elementary briefly, where y'all can see that overall. Again, it's going to look just like I showed you on the snips of the high school. On this campus specifically, the map on the left is a live map with the GPS coordinates on that where the exact location of that campus is, so you'll always have that. We named the campus, the address of the campus, the year it was built, and then all the renovations that were had taken place on that campus. 90,000 square foot campus, replacement cost is about $51 million. And a condition budget of about $12,180,000, which gives us an FCI score of approximately 29%, which is
Scott, can you explain that that percentage, because you said it a couple of times. I want to make sure that we understand what the facility condition is.
It's the condition budget. The deficits are the issues going on with the campus where I've identified findings that need to be addressed eventually, or I feel like as a consultant need to be addressed.
So the lower the number, the better the building.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. That's just when that number gets into the 70 mark, we start talking to districts about replacement of buildings because it's going to cost more for the district to put money into it than it is the actual building's worth. And that's what we want to look at. And y'all have a very small handful of those buildings, and you don't utilize those a lot, honestly, in your district. Executive summary would be at the very bottom. And, I'll read it if y'all don't mind. Acton Elementary was originally constructed in 78 with additions, renovations in 90, 91, 2001, and 2016. Portable classrooms added in 98, 2001, most recently in 21. Campus is currently operating at approximately 92% capacity. While the overall condition of the facility is good, it requires consistent annual maintenance, particularly in high-touch areas such as walls, floors, and ceilings. Given the high utilization rate and reliance on portable classroom, it's recommended that the district begin planning for a permanent campus addition to increase classroom space. Additionally, 35% of the total HVAC tonnage is at or beyond life expectancy and should be scheduled for replacement. Roof systems are also approaching the end of their lifespan, and and a proactive plan should be developed to address these needs. With regular maintenance, target investment, and priority projects, the facility has potential to continue to serve the district effectively for 15 to 20 more years. That's at a minimum, honestly, at that. Every one of the facilities will have a summary similar to that of some sort, giving my recommendations ultimately of what's going on and what the district can focus on. Facility findings tab. Again, it looks just like what we saw on the SNP. A lot of details at the top, the condition assessment, where I rate those, and I'm just going to go through a few of those, like exterior. There's some stucco cracking on the exterior of that building where they're detaching and they're coming off, and that's just building integrity. We don't want our building exterior to have insects or water migration into that building. So addressing those, fixing those, the building envelope of the brick and the masonry work where we have some issues going on with needs to be regrouted and repointed around there to where we don't have water going in. Very simple, no major things going on, but things that need to be addressed overall. As you can see, foundation issues, there's no concerns, nothing I saw on cracked foundations or masonry that was cracked through the exterior wall. I'm saying a brick that's cracked in the center of it. Probably there's some foundation issues going on that campus, and you'll see some recommendations in here that you probably need to bring an engineer in here and do some studies with that. Find out what really is going on, what's the root cause. There's a lot of black land around here. You're going to have that happen. Land's going to move. Things are going to happen. So trying to get a hold of that early on. Again, site-wise, uneven pedestrian spaces to reduce some potential hazards of tripping. Address the roof at the bottom of that, and then we go to interior-wise. Overall, we're talking about refreshing wall surfaces, painting the walls on a regular basis, having a schedule for that. I believe y'all have some pieces of that schedule already in place in your district, and so I know that that's going to be addressed as you have. Another one that gets overlooked a lot of times is 2x2 and 4x2 ceiling tile. And that's an environmental piece of the puzzle with HVAC units running and the dust and things settling into classrooms. When it begins to sag, we have more issues with concerns with air quality overall at the end of the day. Didn't see anything major there for sure. Then listing this campus, the priority projects will be on the left. They're identified. Additional projects as money becomes available on the right. Utilization in a graph of approximately 92% capacity, so it is pretty high. Of 827 students enrolled, 895 for functional capacity. And then it also gives our FCI score over there on the far right. Educational adequacy, how is the facility overall for our students? You can see good across the board for the most part. Again, safety security is always a concern. I think we can always have more cameras and be safer overall. Site playground, there's probably playground equipment that is a little bit worn, a little bit used. Maybe we needed some more fall zone material in there, so it's going to be marked as a yellow at fair. You probably replace fall zone material every year on your campuses. I was there early summer, middle summer. It may have not been done yet. And then at the bottom, you're going to have pictures that we take on every campus, interior and exterior pictures. I will say the majority of the pictures that are going to be identified are going to be deficiency type pictures. I do try to get pictures of good things that are going on the campuses as well, because I don't want it to think that everything is terrible. But at the end of the day, we're trying to identify deficiencies and what's going on the campus to where you can create a plan for the future. Facilities details tab. Again, it looks exactly like what I showed you on the SNP, where we have identified areas of concern. This is where the money meets the road at the end of the day, because we give you an estimated budget of what it's going to cost. And the first question we always get asked is, where's that number coming from, right? We use RS Means construction data. We have a subscription with that company where they get updated construction costs across the United States. And some of that is narrowed down into Texas specifically. to where it's not just the cost of replacement, but it's the soft costs that are involved in replacement. If you have to have some architectural or engineering work done as well, those are estimated in there. I will promise you one thing, that we want to be high and not low, because you're going to use these numbers as planning numbers for your district. And we do not want a number in there that is low and you come back and tell us that we missed the mark and it cost you an extra $100,000 to do a project where we thought it would be about, $150,000 anyhow. So we're going to identify that, and we're going to be a touch high, but we do use RS means. We recently signed an agreement with a construction company in Texas, and they're going to begin to provide us updated construction costs that they're using inside schools with the school districts that they work with. It is a paid service that we're getting from that construction company. They offered to give it to us at TASB, and we want to pay for it. We want it to be completely transparent on our end, that we just want better numbers that are out there for construction costs in public schools. So you can see that's a pretty long list going all the way down to the bottom. Actually there, we're going to say other projects there at the very bottom where you can see, and I highlight that. We need additional classroom space to get rid of permanent facilities. There's an estimated cost of about $6.6 million in square footage of 15,000 square foot to make that happen if you needed it. So just giving you some planning cost numbers more than anything. Thank you. Then the left side, safety security improvements, things that are going on there. Middle, budget costs, about $8 million in actual construction costs is what it would be if you were to try to do a construction project for that. $3 million in soft cost of whatever it may be on permits and engineering or architecture that are out there in soft costs overall, drawings and all, to bring a cost of about $11 million, $1 million in HVAC needs, and about $58,000 in roof needs, to give you a total budget of the $12 million that's identified and a 29% FCI score. We also throw cost of escalation in there for 27, 28, and 29 of about 5 to 7% inflation, because we know that schools aren't going to be able to do all these projects at one point in time. That's never the thought process from us. But what is it going to take to do this down the road or in the future? And you have some planning numbers, utilize that with overall. It's what we're trying to make sure that we get to you. HVAC data. Again, you can see that, and y'all are doing exceptional well. Y'all replaced a lot of HVAC this summer, and it's my understanding y'all are talking about that to do that some more. It's exceptional. You got to stay ahead of that no matter what. A lot of this data is just a visual for your maintenance folks to know what's going on and to know where we need to target or focus specific units for the future. It's expandable all the way out to as many as we have on that campus to see every one of them. And then some charts at the bottom to show you the amount of, by age, what it looks like, and then by tons, what it looks like of what needs to be replaced for the future, or plan to replace in the future. Again, the roof tab, assessment of the main building, and then assessment of the gym. All the identifiers. Main building has about 5 years left of life expectancy. That is a metal roof building, so that's about a 30-year roof generally. Not saying that it needs to be replaced at 30 years, but we need to make sure that we're maintaining that throughout the 30-year time frame. Checking fasteners, making sure we don't have trees rubbing it. All of those factors that come into us becoming or having leaks inside of our campuses. And then maps, pictures at the bottom of what's going on top of it. We strongly recommend, and you'll see it on every one of our summaries of a roof, I think that's at the very bottom, that our staff needs to be on the roofs twice a year and after any type of weather event. And that's a recommendation that we make. We've got to be there. And at the end of the day, the roof is one of the most important pieces of the puzzle to make sure that our buildings stay secure on the inside and we don't have external things happening and migrating our building. So that is an example of a campus and how to maneuver around that campus. We'll get back to the. So a lot of information, a lot of data. I mean, you talk about 27 facilities and what it is. It was about 4 months of work on our end to get all of that ready from the day we stepped foot on the district until it's done. And it was a huge priority to work with Granbury and work quickly with Granbury to get that information out. So what needs to take place? We need some facility planning to take place, and y'all already have a start on that. I've seen documents on the COPE. I've seen other things and other specific items that you have in spreadsheets as a district where your folks are planning for what's going on. But we need planning to be a focus that provides a direction for the future boards and administrators. It aligns with facilities, with the educational vision, and it communicates what the needs are to the community. And the planning breaks down into capital or maintenance. Capital planning is large projects. Maintenance projects are what our maintenance guys can do. And there is many, many maintenance projects through this that your maintenance staff with the skills levels that you have can do. So what does it look like? We talk long-range planning is the best part of it, setting up and figuring that out and what it will look like for long-range planning. And then we sit down, or y'all sit down as a district about maintenance planning and identifying the ugly stuff, but that has to be done. It takes place, and that's why the rear end of that elephant is there. It's not pretty. None of the maintenance planning is pretty. It just has to be done, though, and your district has to work through that. Maintenance planning, again, maintenance and improvements projects, and y'all have already started that. I mean, it was so nice to work in a district this summer to where I got a schedule of what campuses y'all were going to do maintenance on to where my guys could be on other campuses or where y'all had HVAC. I don't get that very often in districts that I go to where we run over each other. I knew your floor schedules on waxing. I knew all of that. It was excellent, and I certainly appreciate that, and that's what helps speed this process up for us as well. So there's a lot of pieces of the puzzle that Granbury ISD has in place that are excellent. And we, with this assessment, want to help you fine-tune that, focus in on the areas that are high needs, and then what can be pushed down the road a little bit to where we find other means of funding sources to make sure that we can take care of that overall. And it's your data. Benefits, we want to be proactive and preventative instead of reactive. School districts in general are reactive no matter what in facilities. We do not place enough money in our facilities for maintenance of it. I ask school boards everywhere that I go and present across the state, the North region, because that's my area, what is our largest investment of this community's tax dollars? Physical investment is our buildings. We've got to make sure that we fund those correctly to where we can do the maintenance that we need to do on them and make sure that we keep them up to date to where they can last as long as they can last. Next question, do you know the average age of the educational buildings in Texas? And that's the ones that we teach kids out of. The average age of the educational buildings in Texas. No clue? 50 plus? 40 to 50? 40 to 50, average age. Granbury ISD's educational facilities are 36 on average right now. Just so you see where your mark is, you're a little bit below that. You have areas that you want to address. You have specific maintenance issues that you want to make sure that you take care of. Hopefully this document will help you out. Maintenance planning is how we're using our resources. It's transparency, how we're being good stewards, and how we're making early wins to take care of our facilities as best we can, as quickly as we can. That's my information. If you've got questions, you've got comments, you've got thoughts, what I ask you to do as a board when you get your logins is dive into that information. Take time. It's going to take a lot of time. It doesn't happen overnight. Like I said, there's 27 facilities. Some are very little need, Some are pretty large needs overall. Read the summaries, read all the data that's a part of it, see what it is, and then you as a board, best practice recommendation from Scott Bean or TASB, however we want to say it, is to sit down and have workshops of what do we need to address? What direction do we need to go as a district to reach our goals that meet our educational goals for our students, but also our facility goals for our district to keep our facilities the best that they can be overall. A great story, real quick, is I worked with a very small district in East Texas and a very poor district in East Texas. And I was there doing my one-year annual visit about 3 weeks ago, and the soup and I were just having our conversation as we do about what was going on. Their board dedicated $200,000 in maintenance project planning for the next 10 years because they know that it's that important. That's way outside of what I've ever heard generally from small schools of what they're dedicating. But it's putting in the work as a board, as a team with your maintenance staff and your superintendent and everybody and the stakeholders that are involved to make the best plan overall for your district of what you can do to make your facilities the best they can be for your students at Granbury ISD. A lot of information. I think it's an outstanding tool. Yes, I'm biased on that side of it, but my job, the way I feel like as being in the school business for a long time, is I want to provide you the best data that I can provide you and help you reach the goals of your district that you want to reach. We're a service organization at TASB, and we want to be a partner of whatever we can do to work with you to keep your facilities to the best that they can be, and you're investing everything you can invest overall for your kids at Granbury ISD.
Thank you very much for that report. That was a very detailed report and very, very much appreciated. Board members, do you have any questions? All right.
Thank you.
Dr. Moraski.
I just want to make sure that the board knows that we are going to be using this we have a workshop, I believe, the beginning of November. We'll be talking about some of this, and it will play a key role. So, and I want to thank Scott for being here and giving us such great information to make future decisions on and make sure that we're transparent with our community and budgeting appropriately to be proactive and reactive. So thank you so much. Thanks.
All right. The board will take a recess at this time, and we will reconvene at 6 o'clock. Thank you. We would like to welcome everyone to our meeting tonight. It is now 6 o'clock and we are ready to begin. We'll begin with an invocation led by our trustee, Mike Moore.
Good evening, everyone. Will you please pray with me? Dear Lord, we're thankful for everybody here tonight as we support our students, our teachers, and staff. May they all feel encouraged and know the positive impact that they have for our district. Father God, we're very thankful for them. Lord, please open our minds and open our hearts and give us the wisdom to make the best decisions for Granbury ISD. We love where we live. We are grateful for our district. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen. And now we will have our pledges led by students at Nettie Baccus Elementary School.
This is our treasure team at Baccus, or part of them, and they were chosen by their teachers to be leaders at our school. And they're going to introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Christopher Zarate and I'm in 5th grade. Hi, my name is Isaac Moreno and I'm in 5th grade. Hi, my name is Landry Steeper and I'm in 5th grade. Hi, my name is Yadira Hawado and I'm in 5th grade. Please stand up for the pledge. Salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor and protect this flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Please be seated.
All right. Dr. Padgett, do you have something to show for us today?
Absolutely.
All
I've got a lot
right.
of great things to show. Woo, that's pretty loud. Never thought I'd turn the microphone away, huh? All right, so good evening, Superintendent Morawski, President Gore, and Board of Trustees. My name is Lacey Padgett, and I'm the proud principal at Baccus Elementary. I honestly have been so excited about this evening and cannot wait to share all the wonderful things happening at Baccus Elementary. I would like to first introduce our admin team. We have Lacey Clark, who is one of our assistant principals. We have Stephanie Slimak, who's our assistant principal intern. And then you met Carmen Chandler, who is our counselor. And then we have Jairo Martinez, our instructional specialist. And we have Chelsea McCord, our other instructional specialist. And we'll highlight our teachers here. We even have a fan club here tonight with our teachers. So we'll highlight them. So let me go ahead and figure out. Okay, there we go. Last year, our team worked together to really update our mission, our vision, and our motto to better reflect who we are as a campus and what we value the most. Our mission emphasizes cultivating a love of learning and building critical thinkers. Our vision highlights our commitment to providing safe, inclusive, and nurturing environment. And our motto, and the kids could probably say it with me, I can achieve, I will succeed because I matter, captures the heart of our culture at Baccus. It's the message our students hear and believe each and every single day. These statistics were last year's numbers at Snapshot. I wanted to share these with you so when you see our accountability slide next, you'll have a good idea of what our numbers were for the 24-25 school year. Baccus Elementary served 594 students and actually got up to about 605 students by the end of the year, which was a significant increase from the year before of 454 students. Thanks to the addition of our bilingual dual language program, which has brought many new families to our campus. We have 63 staff members, including 41 teachers, who are dedicated to supporting our students' academic and social growth. Our campus is very diverse, with 77% economically disadvantaged, getting up to over 80% last year. with 18% of our students receiving special education services, 29% or a third of our students are emergent bilingual students. And we also serve 16 McKinney-Vento, which is our homeless population. That was last year. This year, we are currently at 14. Overall, Baccus is a growing and very vibrant school community, and we're very proud of how our staff continues to meet the needs of all of our students as our campus continues to evolve. So take a look at this slide. We are very proud of the academic progress our students have made. Overall, our campus rating increased from a 74C to an 81B, which is a solid B, a big step forward for our campus. Absolutely. And looking at our academic growth, we saw one of our biggest gains, moving from a 75 to an 83, showing that our students are not only learning, but continuing to grow at higher levels year after year. In closing the gaps, we also improved from a 71 to a 75, which shows our targeted supports are helping more students across all student groups. And we're especially proud that Baccus earned a distinction for being the top 25% for comparative academic growth, a clear sign that the hard work of our teachers and students is paying off. We are very, very proud of this slide. At Baccus, we're very proud, too, to offer specialized programs that meet the diverse needs of our students. Thank you. You want to do that? Sure. Thank you. Put them to work. Our one-way dual language bilingual enrichment program serves nearly a third of our student population and is designed to build bilingualism, biliteracy, and bicultural awareness. Instruction intentionally is structured across both English and Spanish, math and English, science and social studies in Spanish, and literacy in both languages to help thrive academically in both languages. And I know y'all had a chance to listen to Bronner's, so they're kind of our sister school. We share our bilingual program with them. We actually have two specialized programs. We also have an ACES program, a specialized setting within our special education services that focuses on developing academic, communication, emotional, and social skills. The program emphasizes safety, respect, and responsibility while providing individualized support through a team of one teacher and two paraprofessionals. Our goal is to equip every student in that program with tools they need for success both inside and outside the classroom through positive behavior support as well as a tiered system of support. Now I'll turn it over to Ms. Clark.
So this year, our academic focus is on strengthening instruction and supporting both teachers and students. Teacher teams collaborate bi-weekly in professional learning communities to review lessons, analyze data, and ingest instruction. We continue to align and internalize the Bluebonnet curriculum through learning walks, ensuring that consistency across grade levels is there. Through our multi-tiered system of supports and our What I Need or When time, students receive targeted support and enrichment. So staff growth is supported through coaching, mentoring for our new teachers, and guidance from instructional specialists. Our work emphasizes high leverage strategies that have the greatest impact on student learning. At Baccus, strong relationships and that positive school culture are at the heart of everything we do. Through capturing kids' hearts, teachers build trust, connect with students, and create supportive classrooms. And through our positive behavior intervention support system, it helps to set those clear expectations. We have a school-wide common vocabulary, consistent routines, and we recognize those positive choices that students are making. Combining the relationships of capturing kids' hearts with structured behavior supports of PBIS, it creates a safe, engaging environment at our campus. As a Capturing Kids' Heart Rising Star campus, we use the Excel model to empower students, establish classroom social contracts, and provide those students with leadership opportunities within their classroom. Lead-worthy character traits are celebrated monthly, and our Process Champions team helps sustain these practices. Programs like Reset or a Break and our Ready Body Learning Minds give students tools to self-regulate and refocus. Together, these systems ensure every child feels valued, capable, and connected. I'll turn it over to Ms. Slimak.
Good evening. At Baccus, we want every student to feel connected and have a voice in our school community. We offer a variety of opportunities for students to get involved, such as the Baccus Treasure Team, the Principal Advisory Council, and student ambassadors. Our students also enjoy house rallies, positive principal referrals, and celebrations like the Baccus Bash, which recognizes achievements, behavior, and attendance, and fosters school spirit. Through Capturing Kids' Hearts, Lead-Worthy Traits, student surveys, and special events like Career Day and First Responders Day, students are engaged, recognized, and empowered. Additionally, our academic UIL activities provide fun, competitive ways for students to stretch their learning and skills beyond the classroom. At Baccus, keeping families informed and involved is a top priority. We communicate through our family newsletter and This Week at Baccus updates, as well as social media and Class Dojo, so families always know what's happening. We offer music programs at every grade level, engaging family events in both parent-teacher conferences and student-led conferences to provide multiple ways for families to connect. Families also have opportunities to share feedback through surveys, get involved in our parent-teacher organization, and participate in the homeroom parent program. Additionally, we support our Purple Star and military-connected families through special activities and resources, ensuring every family feels welcome and connected to our campus. We have a few students from our treasure team that would like to share what they love about Baccus.
Hello, my name is Yadira Awado. I have attended Baccus Elementary since I was in pre-K. Now I'm in the 5th grade. One thing I really love about Baccus is how happy Dr. Paget is always, no matter what. She finds a way to smile and makes us feel excited about the day. One thing I love how we get to go on field trips and have experiences. Our teachers are super nice and always ready to help. And I can tell they really care about us. I love how everyone looks out for each other, even when it's raining, people are outside opening doors with a smile. The special teachers like music, art, and gym always have fun activities planned, so we are never bored. I feel really lucky to be at Baccus, where everyone stands by your side and wants you to do your best. Hello, my name is Landry Stiefer. What I love most about Baccus is the positivity and the effort everyone puts into making our school such a great place. You can really feel how much everyone cares about us. The Baccus Bash was so much fun, and we truly appreciate everything they do to keep a smile on our face and help us learn and grow. Thank you.
Thank you. The heart of the school is our wonderful teachers that are making magic happen each and every day in their classroom. I would like to recognize the ones that are here with us this evening. Please stand. We truly appreciate all they do. Thank you, board, for supporting us and helping us shine.
We'd like to thank all these boys and girls for coming up this evening. Are there any parents that are here for these kiddos? If so, would you please stand? We'd like to recognize you. And Dr. Paget, I'd like to tell you a story. Dr. Paget, this is the story I'd like to tell you and your teachers that are here. Of course, I don't know how many of you know this because this has been a long time ago, but are y'all going to take another picture? No. Oh, okay. Y'all go ahead and take a picture. That's fine. No, we need you. Those pictures are important. I have a special place in my heart for Baccus Elementary because I was the principal at Baccus for 9 years. And so I walked those halls and I left a place in my, piece of my heart there whenever I left out. But one of the things I used to tell my teachers was that one thing that we need to remember was that Nettie Baccus was a real person. She was a first grade teacher in Granbury many, many years ago. And from what I understood, she was a very strict first grade teacher. The people that knew Nettie Baccus said that you just didn't pull many tricks on Nettie Baccus. And there are actually some people in the community that still remember Nettie Baccus. And so I tried to remind my teachers that as we went on our day-to-day business, that we wanted to make Nettie Baccus proud, that if she were to return to Nettie Baccus Elementary, that if she were to walk the halls, that we wanted to make her proud. And I guarantee you that if she were to walk the halls of Nettie Baccus now, she would be extremely proud. That you have made her very proud. The teachers and the students, you have continued working very hard and continuing the mission there. And I am very proud, and I guarantee you that Miss Nettie Baccus would be very proud as well. So congratulations on a job well done. You are doing an outstanding job, and we're all very proud of what you're doing there. So thank you. All right, thank you so very much, and we will move right along now. We, after our school update, we will now have public comments. And we have one person that has signed up for public comments, and that will be Monica Brown. And we will go over the guidelines for our speakers. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes. And be sure to identify yourself by your name and your address. And if you're speaking for a group, please identify the group that you're speaking for.
Okay, hey, my name is Monica Brown, and I'm talking about the library books. There's 24 pages of resources that have been purchased recently. I wanted to make sure the public is aware that there are 3 books here that have been rejected by Granbury ISD. This one is called Texas Before the Lone Star. It's a publication of the Texas Society Daughters of the American Revolution. And the lady who's doing this is who's rejecting these books. These were given to every private school in town by the Daughters of the American Revolution. They all received it. The Hood County Library received it. But I have a letter from Miss Dawson saying she would not receive it, and she's blaming it on HB 900, which was the law that was passed to stop sexually explicit books. So this also has teaks in it. So it's an incredibly gorgeous, wonderful Texas book. These I offered to the school years ago, found it on Freedom No Better Letter. Both of these are free and beautiful, and plenty of copies for the entire district if the district would receive them, but Leah Dawson again said no. I'm really sad about that because I don't think Nettie Baccus would approve at all that kind of rejection, and that kind of lawmakers in Austin laughed when I told them that the excuse is HB 900. And it's all in writing. Leah sent it to me in letter, and she also sent it to the Daughters of the American Revolution ladies here in writing to say that
the guidelines says you're not to address any individual school individual by name.
Okay. Thank you so much for clarifying that.
So I'm kind of ashamed of the situation, but it is what it is. And when I look at your book list, one of the books is called Hollow Boy, all about all the girls being murdered, disappearing, and the boys being hollow. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? Super healthy, super academic, mostly fiction, smut literature, over and over and over again. So if I have anything to do with it, and I might not, I'm going to get better things put in the library. We'll take them out. Let's leave all that stuff in there and let kids have a choice, right? Like apple instead of Snicker bar, that kind of thing. So policy says y'all are educators, and you can look at the book and decide, and you can also take into account the community. Saying you can't isn't true. It is not true at all, and it's a shame. Educators, Nettie Baccus, no way. I know Terry McNew. She knew these ladies from these people from way back that started these schools. And you're right, they had beautiful character, they had moral standards, and they had logic about what they put into student libraries and the impact and effect it had on the children. And Unravel Me, everyone looked that one up. Still here. I gave all the detail about it, and it was like talking to a sack of rocks. And I'm sorry. I wish it were different. It is your legacy you leave. And you can do what Nettie did, or you can ignore it.
All right, at this time, we will have a public hearing on the first report. Emmett Whitefield.
Thank you, Ms. Alana. Board, in front of you, you do have your first rating. It's a report. It's in your packet. There are also some in the back for anybody who would like to have one of those while we're going through it. Raise this up just a little bit. So this is our public hearing on the first report, and the first report. What is school's first report? The school's first report is the financial accountability rating system that Texas school districts were developed by TEA in response to Senate Bill 875 by the 76th legislature in 1999. Primary goal of the school's first report is to achieve quality performance and transparency in the management of school districts and financial resources. Under the school's first report, each school district is required to provide a report each year on the data that TEA gives us a rating on. It's supposed to have the rating in it. It's going to have the performance ratings compared to the previous year's rating. It's going to have additional information that was required in 2007, which would be like the superintendent's contract. However, it's not in this report because it's posted on the website, and that meets the letter of the law on that. There'll also be some summary disclosures pertaining to superintendent and school board for financing. The 2025 ratings are based on the 23-24 data and are published on the TEA website. Within 2 months of receiving the final rating, we have to do this public hearing to meet the letter of the law as well. The current rating system has 21 indicators and assigns an A through an F rating. So basically, the 21 indicators are going to have 1 through 4 will be, did you submit your AFR by the deadline? Was there an unmodified opinion was number 2. Number 3 is, was the district in compliance with all of its debt payments? And number 4 would be, did the district make timely payments to the IRS, to the Workforce Commission, and the IRS? When you get into the 5 through 21, that's when the meat of the report starts to come out. 5 and 6, they're a pass-fail, and it has to do with fund balance in that position. 7 through 9 have to do with cash flow, assets and liability ratios, and revenues. Number 10 is not evaluated, but it is worth 10 points, and they give you those 10 points to start off with. Number 11 is solvency. Number 12 is your debt ratio compared to your taxable assessed values. And number 13, this is the one that we like to talk about a lot, is your admin cost ratio. That's your function 21 and 41, which is your leadership, as opposed to in a ratio to your student direct student instruction. Ours is a 0.0740. The standard for our size district is a 1.125. That's the standard for a district our size. If you get that, you only get 6 points. Ours is a 0.0740, so we get 10 points in that category. 14 and 15 have to do with enrollment and pupil projections, in our staff ratios. And then 16 and 17 are pass-fail, but that has to do with our PEMS. Is our PEMS data within 3% of our AFR? And was our AFR free of material weakness? 18 and 19 are with points, and our AFR was free of material noncompliance, and then we did post this information on the website. And then 20 and 21 are a pass-fail, and that's discussion with board over funding changes, and that's what we do in July when we talk about our budgeting. And then was there a TEA repayment schedule, and we do not have that. The report contents will have what is Schools First, and it'll describe what Schools First is. It'll have the district's rating. It'll have the district status detail for the 24-25 school year, which is based on 23-24 data. It'll have the prior year comparison. It'll have how the ratings are assessed, the glossary of terms, and the required disclosures, which would be, again, we talked about the superintendent's contract, which is on the website, so that meets that criteria. And then any reimbursements received by the superintendent or board members for the fiscal year, which would include meals, hotel stays, or any conferences that you went to, and any other information that's pertinent to this. The first rating ensures that Texas public schools are held accountable for the quality of their financial management practices, and if they improve these practices. The system is designed to encourage Texas public schools to better manage their financial resources to provide maximum allocation possible for direct instructional purposes. So how did we do? We answered yes to all 4 of the first questions on that criteria, and we scored a 100 out of a 100 on indicators 7 through 15 and 18 and 19. It's achieving the highest rating possible under current Schools First system, which is a superior achievement. 21 of the 23 years that this has been in place, we've had the superior achievement. And the last 3 years have been a perfect score. Earning this top financial rating for the 10 consecutive years demonstrates a deep commitment to managing taxpayer dollars with integrity and transparency. It shows financial excellence, sound budgeting, and accurate reporting. Recognition of effort goes to the school board, the finance team, the auditors, and all the administrators in the district in achieving this distinction. That is the public hearing for your first report, and I'll answer any questions or listen to any comments you may have.
Are there any questions from the board?
I just have a comment.
Go ahead.
Basically, I'd like to say the job that you've done for the 3 years I've been here has been outstanding. I think it shows in the reports that you've had, and I appreciate all that you've done for our school district.
Thank you, sir.
I was just going to ask, I don't know how many school districts there are. Wes, I asked you this, one of the very first questions I asked when I first came on the board was how many school districts are there? This was on the subject of districts of innovation, and then how many were out of all of those? So I have the same question for you. Out of all of the school districts in Texas, something like 1,200, how many of them?
Actually, there are about 1,068 first ratings.
Say that again?
1,068 first ratings.
1,068 first ratings, and how many of them rate A?
There were 912 A's, 409 at 100%.
409?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's it. That's all I was going to ask. Thank you.
That's actually quite impressive.
Yeah.
It's not just something that's just stamped and everybody gets it. It is something that you earn. It's quite impressive. Yes. Yes. Any other questions or comments from our board members? All right. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Whitefield. Excellent job. All right, we will move on now to Achievement Spotlight. We have our community donations. Billy, can you read those for us?
Absolutely. So donations from the community. First, we have a donation from Oakwoods PTO to the Campus Facility Fund to supplement first grade field trip of $1,105. Donation from Kudo Homes to Mambrino Campus Activity Fund to fund signs for STEAM Star of $858.20. Donation from TEA Energy, Gina and Ben Moore, to Membrano Campus Activity Fund in the form of adult and child beverage cards in the amount of $800. Donation from Texas Paint to the Membrano Campus Activity Fund in the form of paint for the campus mural of $500. Next is a donation from Stonewater Services to Membrano Campus Activity Fund in the form of refrigerator, the teacher's lounge, in the amount of $448.93. A donation from A Plus Roofing to Membrano Campus Activity Fund for pickup car tags in the amount of $2,366.42. Donation from an anonymous donor to Membrano Campus Activity Fund in support of the campus in the amount of $5,000. A donation from Zoo Crew Inc. to Bronner Campus Activity Fund for stuffed animals, outfits, and backpacks in the amount of $1,525. Donation from the Optimist Club of Granbury to GMS Activity Fund for RLA dollars and cents in the amount of $1,200. Donation from Living Water Infant Aquatics, Cindy Markham, to GMS Campus Activity Fund to purchase students' PE shirts in the amount of $100. Donation from Valencia Ditto to GHS CTE Department Campus Activity Fund for education and training in the amount of $2,500. Donation from an anonymous donor to GHS CTE Auto Tech Department in the amount of $300. A donation from the Optimist Club of Granbury to the Junior Optimist Club Student Activity Fund to purchase Uncrustables for the athletic freezer for the kids in an amount of $400. Donation from Ultimate Tees to the GHS Stowaways Student Activity Fund for fan apparel donation amount of $1,313. A donation from Project Graduation for Transportation Project Graduation Event in the amount of $1,192.50. A donation from Schottenkirk Hyundai to the Athletic Campus Activity Fund for the NFHS streaming service of $1,000. A donation from First National Bank of Granbury to the Athletic Campus Activity Fund as an athletic website sponsor in the amount of $4,000. A donation from First National Bank of Granbury to the Athletic Campus Activity Fund for Gold Card sponsorship in the amount of $445. A donation from Barry and Barry DDS Jason and Elizabeth Berry to the Athletic Campus Activity Fund for sponsorship in the amount of $1,000. And finally, a donation from Tyson's Foods Inc. to the Child Nutrition Campus Activity Fund in support of the department in the amount of $2,500 for a grand total of donations this month of $28,554.05.
We'd like to thank our community for all of these donations. Be sure and if you see any of these folks out and about that you thank them for these donations. $28,554. That is quite a large amount. We certainly do appreciate that. All right, and now let's move right along. We have some National Merit scholars that we would like to recognize.
Okay, I'm Dr. Morawski and the board. Thank you for having me. It's funny because I was asked, do you have time to come in, shine a spotlight on a couple of your students? And I'm like, of course. It's literally what we do this for. At Granbury High School, we're making sure that students only do three things if they want to be successful, and that's be involved, work hard, and be kind. And the two students that I'm going to introduce you to, if you don't know them already, you're probably going to get to at some point in the future, because what they've accomplished in the National Merit Scholar Competition is pretty incredible. So, and I'll get to that in just a moment. Grace Blevins and Eli Forrest, can you come up for me, please? Here's this. And congratulations, young lady. Now, I'm not sure which way we want to face and just say, let's face the board because, the ones that are recognizing you guys and all that you've accomplished. So when we talk about being involved, work hard, be kind, I know both of these folks are involved in things outside of the academic world, which, you know, can be very challenging when you're trying to achieve at a high level. I know Ms. Blevins, you're the Optimist president, Optimist Club president. I'm sure there's additional things that she does. Hussein's already clapping. And Eli, you're in the marching band. So I know that that's a very high achieving group as well. Tremendous. If you haven't had a chance to listen to them, the amount of work that they put in is incredible. But here's what I mean by hard work when it comes to the academic side of things. I want us to be great at everything that we do. So we know the Optimist Club is great. We know that the band is great and that their academic performance is great. And this is how we know. 1.3 million, more than 1.3 million students across the United States entered the National Merit Scholar Competition with College Board. Only the top 34,000 students earned commended status. These two earned commended status. So if I am doing my math correctly, and they said they would check it, I believe it's 1.266 million human beings you guys beat in that competition. Is that correct? Close enough? Okay, he said close enough. I know it's right. I mean, I'm pretty good at math too. I wasn't terrible. But I know, in just look at these two. I mean, they're two of the kindest people you're ever going to meet. So they are the shining example of what we hope Granbury students grow to become. So job well done, both of you. Congratulations. And I'm going to let you guys tell everybody who's here with you, because you don't do this. Don't look at me like that. She's looking at me like, you didn't tell me I was going to have to speak. You're going to have to let us know who's here with you, invite them up for a nice little photo with the board. So tell us where you want to go, what you want to do, and who's here with you, okay? So we're going to start with Ms. Blevins. Go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I didn't know that I would be speaking tonight, as Mr. Fish just told you. So my name is Grace Blevins, but you already know that. And I want to go to Rice University in Houston. And I want to be in school for a really, really long time. So I want to get my undergraduate degree in molecular and cellular biology, and I hope to use that to get a master's or professional degree in genetics. And the people that are here with me, I have my wonderful family behind me, and they're about to come up and take a nice photo. And so do I need to introduce them by name? Can I introduce them by name?
Yes. It's like, yeah, do you know their names?
I think I can remember.
Yeah, good.
So I have my dad, Eric Blevins, and my wonderful mom, Sarah Blevins, and my brother, Jake Blevins. And they're... And I could not be standing here without them. So would they please come up for a photo?
Go now?
Yes, sir. Go now.
All right. As you know, my name is Eli Forrest, and I was just as unprepared as Grace was, so I'll try to keep this coherent. What was it for?
Where do you want to go? What do you want to do?
Oh, right. So far I'm planning on going to Oklahoma State University, where I will be planning on studying electrical engineering. And with me is my family, my mom, Amy Forrest, my dad, Aaron Forrest, my sister, Caitlin Forrest, and my brother, Wyatt Forrest.
This is what public education is all about, one big happy family right here. Okay. Who singing needs a picture? Congratulations to these two students. We are so proud of them.
That was all my doing, I swear. They did not give me any parameters. Oh, he shut it off. I do apologize. I was not given any parameters, so that gives me,
Mr.
full
Fink, you
reign.
did a great job.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I figure if you defeated nearly 1.3 million people, you probably should get a moment. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Thank you, Mr. Fish.
All right.
Outstanding job.
Thank you, ma'am.
We're proud of those kiddos.
We are. We're very proud. And then next up, I know we have
That shot in Kirk?
Schottenkirk. Yep. And I believe it's Hartley Kennedy. Is that right? Okay.
Hello, as he said, my name's Hartley Kennedy. I work for the Schottenkirk Automotive Group. And every month we give a $500 check to a Granbury High School student. And so I'm proud to announce that Daniel Hernandez is our Student of the Month. So we can give him a round of applause for that. I'm going to read just a little bit about Daniel and what he has plans for the future. So Daniel learned hard work from his father. Oh, is it working? Hello? Okay. Sorry. Daniel learned hard work from his father and respect in his faith from his mother. His Catholic faith has been his driving force, keeping him grounded through difficult times. Daniel is currently in his second year of teaching kindergarten and helps with Wednesday confirmation classes and serves as a Spanish mass usher. Is it? Okay, sorry. He serves as a Spanish usher. While he once considered trade school for automotive and welding, Daniel found his true calling. This fall, he will attend St. Joseph's Seminary College to major in theology. Proud of his roots and eager to continue his journey in faith and service.
I'm Darren Hernandez. And I would like to say, the members of the board, GISD, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and thank you for this opportunity. And it is true as well that I felt the calling as well for what I want to do after high school. It's a big vocation that many people, they get, but they never answer it. That a lot of people, they get it, but they don't want to continue. They say, oh, that's a good calling, but they're not ready for the calling. And I had it, and I accepted it. And now with my church and the Bishop, Michael Austin, they're helping me as well to enter my first year seminary. And it's going to be a big vocation that I will give, and I am willing to give. And as well, I want to give a shout out to my mother, my father, and my brother, but he couldn't attend, unfortunately. But I want to give them a shout out as well because they helped me throughout my life. And as me as a first generation Mexican American, they came to this country so I can be successful and so I can be someone and I can live the life that I was promised. Yes. Thank you.
If your parents want to come up here too, they can.
All right, congratulations. We're very proud of you, and we look forward to seeing what God holds in your future. It should be great. All right, moving right along, we'll go on into the superintendent's report.
All right. Board of Trustees and members of the audience, I have a couple of updates I want to make sure that you're aware of. I've had some questions about the Senate Bill 10, which is the requirement for classrooms to post the 10 Commandments. And so I want to make sure that our community knows to expect we have a donation coming through from community partners so that we can provide that poster in every classroom. And so I'm going to look out for that donation. Will come through our green sheet next month. I want to make sure you're updated. Also, some exciting events happening this week. We have coffee with the CFO tomorrow at 9 a.m. If you have any questions about school finance, a great place to go and have a casual conversation with our CFO. Band Community Night, which actually is more than band. It's got our, I believe it's got our cheer, our choir, our JROTC. Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock in Pirate Stadium. So it's going to be a fun event. I will be there. It's going to be fun. October Madness is on Wednesday, and it's like Meet the Pirates, the basketball Pirates. So they will be there, all of the basketball players, on Wednesday night at 5:30 in the James 1. Also, next week is this week, it's National School Bus Safety Week. So it's a great time for us to think about our student view that has rolled out K through 12. Those are where the students scan on and off with their badges. And if you're an elementary student, your parents have access already to the app, and that will be coming for our secondary students soon. So great time to focus on school safety. Also, Ranch 95.9, which I think is a radio station, has designated Granbury versus Azle the game of the week. And so it's a contest to win $3,000. So you can help us reach the finals by casting your vote. I'm not sure where to cast it, but they say you should cast it so that we can get $3,000 and move to the finals in order to see if we can get $3,000. 95, what does it say? 959, therange.com. Thank you. All right. Last thing is today marks the first day of our school board elections. It's a perfect opportunity to model for our students the importance of participating in the democratic process and demonstrating how to do so with respect and grace. Every vote is a voice for the future of our schools. And by showing up with positivity and purpose, we remind our students that leadership begins with engagement. So just a small reminder for the importance of the next couple of weeks. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that. We'll now move on to action items discussed in closed session. We need to consider staff recommendations. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve the staff recommendations as discussed in closed session.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your hand. All right, that is approved 6-0. Moving on, consent agenda items. Is there anything that needs to be pulled?
Yes.
We have already pulled library.
Yeah, let me find my note. Sorry, I had one.
Is there anything else?
One more.
Which one?
Sorry, I have 3 copies of the agenda and my notes are different on each of them. Well, the one about SB 12. B, thank you.
Oh.
It moved around.
So,
That's the one we need.
SB 12? Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and address item B.
You ready for me?
I'm ready.
So I just wanted to speak in favor of the intent of SB 12 advocating for parents' rights, and that we should be a community that embraces the idea that parents are the best and strongest advocates for their own children, as the norm set forth by this law, and in a few minutes, I think, as adopted by this board and our district through that resolution. And where the exceptions to that, I think, are few, where the parents may not be. So I want to also offer the assurance to the parents of our students that this law and this board and the resolution thereof, complying with it, will not take the extreme views where it's been reported that school nurses were refusing to administer Band-Aids for a skinned knee. And with a nod from Dr. Morosky that we'll execute this district's compliance with the law according to its good-natured intent, and that it's reasonable and practical.
Correct.
Thank you.
That is correct. All right, do I have a motion to accept consent?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
The motion will be to approve consent items A through K.
A through K.
So moved.
We have a motion,
I think now I'm second.
and Tim is the second. Everyone, all those in favor, raise your hand. It's approved 6-0, all consent agenda items. We'll move on to discussion items. Discussion item A, discuss and take action on the district improvement plan. Tammy.
Good evening. All right, well, this is going to look very similar to last month where we did campus improvement plans. And they look similar because we are all pirates rowing in the same direction. So we are here to talk about the district improvement plan for this year. The reason is to inform you of how we go about determining our district needs, who puts their 2 cents in on the district improvement plan, what's the focus of that district improvement plan, why that's the focus. And we're here tonight because policy requires it. So Texas Education Code and both our local and legal address the requirements of presenting this plan to the board and getting it approved. This is going to look drastically the same as the campus improvement plan because it is a very similar process. The district leaders get together and go through this district improvement planning process, just like the campus leadership does on campus leadership teams. And so the calendar is very, very similar as well. So in June and July, we go through a needs assessment. We're looking at all of our data. And then we have our district leaders all take their areas of the strategic plan and they set their goals for this next coming year, where they need to be doing their work. And so that's the district improvement plan design. The presentation to the board for approval is in October. So here we are. And then we'll have reflection, same time frame as the campuses in November, February, and April. The end of data review starts coming in. We start doing all of our appraisals. We have some preliminary data. All of our budget work is getting done in the spring. And that resets the cycle for the next district improvement plan or district needs assessment that will drive what we keep and what we keep working on and what we keep focusing on and where we take us next to continue to improve. So the data that's considered is very much the same, okay, but we're student data at a higher level, okay? What the district is needing for students at the curriculum and instruction level or the teaching and learning department level is a little bit different than maybe what is happening just at Baccus, right? So the student data as a whole, human capital data as a whole, the budgetary needs that Emmett and his team bring forward, and what everybody brings forward to him. And then the community connection data that we're getting from the district level. So that timeline we already went over. This looks very similar because you guys created it. This is our district improvement, our strategic plan, okay, and our priorities. Priority 1 of student achievement, 2 of human capital, 3 of culture, and 4 of our facility and financial stewardship. Everything we do at the campus level last month is in these 4 areas, and everything we do at the district level is working to this end as well, because that's what we came up with as our strategic plan. So you'll see that I put together the one-pager to match that and put some of the different ideas from the lengthy, thick district improvement plan on a one-pager for everyone to see. And we'll post this one. We've posted the campus improvement plans that are at a glance on the website as well, because you all appreciate it, and we're sure that probably everyone else appreciates a one-pager. And then they can dive deep into that stuff if they'd like. So if we're looking at priority 1 under academic achievement and growth, this one is mostly taken up by our teaching and learning department, our high school and our CTE department, and our special populations. So the implementation of Bluebonnet Math is obviously a heavy, right, for our Tier 1 curriculum that we are working on. The Lesser 3 grant reading for our research-based instructional strategies, that is taking up a lot of the teaching and learning department's time, rolling out the curriculum well so that we can raise our Tier 1 instruction across the board. Also targeted accelerated intervention, including reading and math on both sides, and then programming for all of our special populations. So the special populations for special education is what they're focused on. And in the teaching and learning department, we also focus with our ELs and our GT populations to make sure that everybody is taken care of. And then innovative course offerings, that's more our CTE, and it also kind of goes into that CCMR. So nice little segue to CCMR, which is mostly the high school and CTE. The AP and dual credit offerings, doing the TSIA2 so that we can qualify all of our children for a CCMR point to show that they're career college and military ready. And if they are not, putting some interventions in place so that they can get there before they leave us, right? And then increasing our internships and practicum experiences, that's all, Todd's realm. So he is working to that end. And they are doing an excellent partnership to track all of that data, and that's a big undertaking as well. If we go to safety and well-being, that's teaching and learning, has the counseling end of those types of things. The MTSS coordinator, Angie Molinari, working with the counselors, and then campus principals. And then if you count safety drills and those types of things, we have the safety and security department as well, having some of those goals that we are pushing in that area. And then for student involvement, I would say, again, GHS and CTE hold the bulk of that, the athletics department, fine arts oversight, and then our CTSOs, student organizations for CTE, clubs for our CTE programs, so that they can continue to explore their passions. So those are the people who work deeply in Goal 1. Goal 2 for human capital, that's going to be mostly in the HR department, but not entirely. If you look at recruitment systems, though, our partnership with Tarleton State continues with teacher residents, and Wes Jones and his department has worked very hard with that, as well as all of the campus principals having residents on their campuses. Exploring the international teacher program, because we've had a hard time getting all of our bilingual spots filled. And so that's a trial this year. That's a new thing for here. And it's been successful so far. So that's kind of fun. We're continuing to expand the job fair, and then exploring opportunities for our teachers to continue to treat them well, have them be well supported and valued personally and professionally. For retention, I would say it's HR, teaching and learning, and our campus principals again. We rolled out this year a district-wide mentoring program that is the same across all campuses. So all new teachers get similar supports in place, and that is being monitored by Wes Jones with some of the tracking procedures that are in place for that program. And so that's a heavy lift for HR, and teaching and learning had a little hand in that, and so did some of our campus principals. Teaching and learning also has been working very hard for TIA Tuesdays, and this is our data capture year. So TIA will stay on there for a while. And then our little bucks and stuff, those are retention strategies for us. And then the training and development, observation feedback, and those types of things are driven through teaching and learning, our teaching and learning department, along with the instructional specialists. So that's a big lift for them. So for retention, recruitment, and training, HR and teaching and learning takes the bulk of those. When we're looking at, that's goal 4. Sorry, goal 3. Goal 3, Granbury culture. We have these neat new advisory teams that our superintendent has been in charge of, that is going to be making sure that everybody's connected and that we get good feedback from all of those connections to know that we are moving in the right direction and meeting everyone's needs. So that with the communications department works very, very hard on our Granbury culture, monitoring and evaluating and holding all of those meetings, and increasing our communication through newsletters and the website and everything like that. So the superintendent's department, I guess, or office, as well as the in partnership with the communications department, makes that big lift happen. And then when we look at goal number 4, you're looking at facilities, technology, and the business office, making sure that our facility assessment is done, which was incredible tonight. And I think that will be very nice moving forward, getting that facility assessment done so that we can start having those good conversations about what it's going to take to keep our facilities in a good spot is good. The replacement cycle for technology devices, buses, and furniture, and making sure that our infrastructure for technology stays up to date so that we can continue to have all of the things that we are really relying on is a big technology lift. For transparent and effective budget practices, the business office, facilities, technology, and the communications team, there has been so much information pushed out to our website. I don't know that there's much that we are not able to find on our website. So it's a big lift on Ryan with the whole refresh of everything and making sure everything is up to date. So keeping that ready to go. And then our safety and security grants for alternative revenue sources for the safety and security team, partnering with the business office. Everybody's a big team around here, and we have lots of hands making sure that we are pushing this strategic plan forward and continuing to improve. So what to expect? Our formative checkpoints throughout the year are going to happen in November, February, and April. We'll get input from the advisory teams to see if there's anything else that we need to add. Any surveys that are mid-year and end of year and internal feedback that we get, we'll add that to the group to see if we need to do something immediately or just put it on the plan for next year, because it's a living document and we continue to make improvements. What questions do you have for me?
Nice job, Tammy.
Thank you.
I like your color coding behind the slides and everything that correspond to the, I see that.
Thank you. Thank you for noticing even. I love that. If it wasn't apparent, I just want everyone to understand how so much work goes in from our departmental leaders here to make your vision and the community's vision continue to push forward in GISD. And the things that happen here and the awesome things that are going on is not on accident. And a lot of it is the leaders in the room.
It is a very big lift. And I realize it's a big lift. It's everybody having to work together and looking at all the problems and all the solutions and getting them all coordinated together. And it really is fantastic. And the way I can find everything I want on the website has been wonderful. I do appreciate y'all.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Great job. All right, we need to take action and approve this. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
All right, we have a motion by Tim to approve the district improvement plan. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second by Karen. All those in favor, raise your hand. All right, we have a 6-0 vote. The plan is approved. Good job. All right, we'll go on to the next item, discuss and possible action to nominate a person or persons to the Hood Central Appraisal District Board. Dr. Morosky.
Yeah, so it's time for us to nominate up to 5 individuals for this board. And so I had several names given to me that we've collected up here. There's more than 5. And then, of course, we'll take nominations from the floor, and I'll let you handle kind of how you guys want to select that. And then once it's selected, we'll send that in. Remember, this is just the nominations. This is not the voting process. So we're nominating the 5 individuals that we feel should be on the board.
That is correct. We do not elect anyone. We merely nominate people. And we do have some names here that have been suggested. Those names include Scott Bradley, Eddie Rodriguez, John Highsmith, Rick Fry, James Wall, and Richard Hoffs. Do we have other names?
I would like to add to the list Mark McDonald.
Mark McDonald. Others?
Can we make any comments about the names? Are we discussing the names?
It's discussion.
Yeah. I mean, it's all open for discussion, and
Are those all the names?
Yeah, are those all the names?
that's all that's on this list, yes. Do you have others you'd like to add?
No, I just have a couple of comments about Rodriguez and Fry. I would like to say that I do not believe they should be nominated. They were already on the board on HCAD with the misappropriation of taxpayer funds. We were all given a red book last year explaining all of this. They tried to set up a home office corporation. For what purpose, nobody knows. They were part of trying to do shell companies and land swaps. I think we need to have honesty, integrity for the taxpayers, and I don't think these two need to be on the board there.
All right, any other discussion?
My comments are very similar, actually. I have the red book too. To say that I'm not very comfortable appointing anyone or nominating anyone who was seated on the board during that period when the HCAD new auditor found entries, errors, and omissions so egregious were the errors committed by the outgoing auditor that the new auditor required HCAD to restate the prior 2 years' audits. The outgoing auditor was Snow Garrett, by the way, so that will also inform my decision on our other discussion item. Not less than $200,000, $217,000 of a write-off just during that period. So anyone who is seated on the board from February 2023 forward is problematic for me. Even the minutes that were recorded for the March 20th HCAD meeting suggest the refusal to dissolve the home office corporation that Mrs. Lauer just mentioned. And instead, the board agreed, this is a quote from the minutes, the board agreed to remove the item from all future agendas so that it would no longer be discussed. That board accepted those budgets in question, and I think that during that period, they were asleep at the wheel, making a motion, seconding, approving by vote, and ultimately signing those erroneous budgets. So, and I'm only talking about the past 3 years. That red book goes back 10 years plus.
I think Rick was kind of thrown into it. That was his first year on the board, if I remember correctly. And I have a great deal of respect for Mr. Fry, so I just wanted to mention that.
I know how first years on the board can go.
Yes.
I'd like to say that I talked to Scott Bradley. He is interested in being on the board. He mentioned to me that Rick Fry does not want to be on the board, that he's done his time.
He does not.
Okay, we can nominate no one. We can nominate one. We can nominate as many as we want. So it is at the board's discretion. I just need a motion.
I'll make a motion to nominate John Highsmith, James Wall, and Richard Hay.
Could you repeat those, please?
I think he's, but he's only, so let me make one discussion for Richard Hay. The comment was that he's already on the board, but I think he's up again because he's only filling the gap. Yeah. So I think that is still a valid nomination. Those names again, is that what you asked for?
Yes, sir.
On the list, they're 3rd, 5th, and 6th. John Highsmith, James Wall, and Richard Hay.
I'd like to add Scott Bradley.
And then I would like to add Mark McDonald. I talked to Mark and he would like to continue on the board. That would be our 5.
That would be 5.
I need a motion.
I'll make the motion that we accept those 5 nominees and present to HCAT.
Those nominees include Scott Bradley, John Highsmith, James Wall, Richard Hobbs, Mark McDonald.
Okay.
Is that a motion?
That's my motion.
I need a second.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your hand. That passes 6-0. All right, we'll move on to our next item, discuss and take action on an investment policy review resolution. Mr. Whitefield.
Thank you, Ms. Alana. Board, in front of you, you do have our annual investment policy review that we go through every year, according to Public Funds Investment Act and our CDA legal and CDA local. We review these once a year. These CDA legal and CDA local serve as our investment policies. And I've reviewed these to ensure that we are in compliance. CDA legal also states that the board shall adopt a written instrument stating that it has reviewed the investment policies, investment strategies, and a written instrument so adopted shall report any changes made to either the investment policy or the investment strategies. CDA legal also states the board shall annually review, revise, and adopt a list of qualified brokers and are authorized to engage in investment transactions with the district. CDA local states that the superintendent and others that are appointed by the board to serve as the investment officers. And lastly, the government code requires that the board approve of independent sources of investment training. And in view of these requirements, we've attached a resolution for your consideration. There is attachments of CDA legal, CDA local, the investment brokers that we'll use, and the resolution does address who would be the investment officers for the district. It's a recommendation that the board adopt the attached resolution stating the board has reviewed the investment policy and strategies, adopt the list of qualified brokers, and designate the investment officers and approve the independent resources of investment training as required by investment policy and Texas government code.
Any questions by our board?
You've vetted these brokers and comfortable?
They're full investment brokers, and there's only one that's added that's different, and it's the one on the top, and he is under the same qualifications as Logic, TexPool, Lone Star, all of those.
Thank you.
So really, the only person we're adding is going to be our current superintendent, correct, Dr. Moraski?
For the investment officers, yes. And she has completed her training at the first of this month. So she has completed her obligation to be trained.
You did it already?
Very good.
She's not on this investment report that you have tonight because y'all haven't approved it yet, but yes, she will be on the next one.
Okay.
I move that we accept this policy. Let me see how I say that. Accept the investment policy review resolution as presented.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion by Barbara Townsend and a second by Tim Bolton. All those in favor, raise your hand. That's approved, 6-0 vote. Moving right along. We'll go to D, discuss and take action on the purchase of 5 77-passenger student buses. Mr. Whitefield.
Thank you, Ms. Lana. Board in front of you do have the proposal for 5 77-passenger buses and 1 54-passenger bus. And I want to verify that is correct.
That is correct. That is correct.
54, that would be the special ed bus. So that'd be 5 regular ed buses and 1 special ed bus. Currently, there are 5 buses on the ground that we can get within anywhere from 30 days to 6 weeks. So those will move pretty quickly. They will go into production on the special ed bus, and it'll be 6 to 7 months. In the budget amendments, you did have where we amended into fund balance for the committed fund balance that we declared in August. And we didn't recognize the complete loss on those budgeted last year, so we're just going to reissue those funds for more buses.
And these trucks are ready to, buses are ready to roll.
The 5 are on the ground, and we can get them anywhere from 30 days to 6 weeks. So they'll be pretty quick.
That's good.
Fantastic.
Do I have a motion?
I have discussion. Do you want that after? the
Let's have discussion.
So I just want to take a moment to praise my fellow trustees and especially Dr. M for a return to practical and responsible sanity in putting maintenance, repairs, and replacements of our bus fleet operations on a regular and predictable schedule under M&O instead of an INS budget debt for bus purchases through bonds. That praise extends to the engagement to do the same for being better stewards of our real estate assets as well.
Yeah, thanks to the team. They are really planning ahead, so thanks.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion by Mr. Bolton and a second by Barbara Townsend. All those in favor, raise your hand. Passes 6-0. We will move on to our next item. All right, we'll discuss a recommendation for the district audit services from a RFQ.
Thank you, Ms. Alana. Board in front of you, you do have the evaluation of the RFQ audit services for discussion this month. It was a comprehensive evaluation of 6 qualified CPA firms on RFQ 1009. We all recommended Snow Garrett as our first choice as external auditors, with Patillo Brown Hill as our second choice. It was individual evaluations by myself, Hussein, and Kathy. You can see the averages there, and you can see our individual scores. You can also see that they were scored on firm qualifications and experience, team expertise and continuity, school district specialization, meeting our timeline requirements, quality assurance and peer reviews, and references from comparable districts. Again, we are recommending, and you can see the Snow Garrett strengths on there. You can see the timeline commitments. On the second recommendation, you see strengths, key personnel, and the considerations that there were some concerns for. And then the other firms that were considered, there's a few things listed for them as well. We recommend that the board approve next month the Snow Garrett as the external auditors for Granbury, with Patillo Brown as the alternate selection for both. And both firms demonstrated exceptional school district expertise, proven track records with comparable Texas ISDs, qualified teams committed to our engagement, ability to meet our timeline requirements, and strong quality assurance and peer reviews. For your discussion.
As has been stated, this is not for voting on this at this time. This is merely for discussion. So if you have questions, feel free to ask at this time, but we will not vote on it.
Discussion only it is?
Discussion only.
Okay.
And team, as a reminder, we are going to vote on this next month. We're trying to give plenty of time for questions, especially if there's questions from our community. Give us time to answer those. Board members, if you want to make a meeting, of course, with the CFO or somebody from his team, you have access to information that may answer some of your questions as well. It's really a response to make sure that there's time. And so we're discussing this month. We ask that next time you come ready to discuss and vote.
All right, thank you for that. Just in general, not specifically about this, but that policy is a good one, and thanks for giving us that.
So you want us to be, can we say things now or you want us to wait till next time? Okay, discussion. Okay, it's only common sense and the Security Exchange Commission best practice to change the auditor every 5 to 7 years. We've had Snow Garrett for 7 years at least. We should insist on transparency. So why would we expect less for our GISD with a $98 million budget? Some of the surrounding districts have utilized other companies in Snow Garrett and have saved money. Our own HCAD discovered a significant savings by changing the auditor from Snow Garrett. Additionally, the new auditor discovered discrepancies with HCAD and HCAD previous audits, and those were all conducted by Snow Garrett. Again, common sense tells us that it is certainly not wise to have the same auditor company and the same auditors year after year. One question I have is, what does it mean minimizes the learning curve? I'd like to know how GISD would be significantly different than any other ISD, and why would you say that there's a learning curve? Patillo serves 37 Texas ISDs and Snow Garrett audits 22. Patillo was established in 23, has 25 years experience with government entities. Patillo is certainly equal, and the argument can be made they exceed the experience of Snow Garrett. And what does slightly less local presence mean? And why would slightly less local presence matter or impact GISD? Our auditors are not first responders. Patillo reported that their staff obtains 40 hours of local training, and their staff maintains current expertise in governmental auditing. I do not see on our paperwork where Snow Garrett reports any annual training. Patillo is also members of the LCPA-GAQC.
It's a mouthful.
It was. And in the words written that we have here, Patillo is a strong alternative. For the betterment and safety of GISD and taxpayers, it is now time to change the auditor for GISD. I believe that our own HCAD experience is also justification to try an alternative to Snow Garrett. Snow Garrett's experience is their CPA manager has been with the company for 7 years and GISD for 7 years. The CPA engagement partner has 24 years experience. CPA concurring review partner has 30 plus years governmental audit experience. Patillo, CPA engagement partner, has 25 years school district auditing. Their concurring partner has 25 years school district auditing. The manager has 5 years school district auditing, and the senior auditor has 3 years school district auditing. Patillo has exceptional school district experience too. They've got 37 districts. They have a proven track record with comparable Texas ISDs. Do they? Well, what about Snow Garrett? Because I'd like to see letters from both districts. If we're going to be comparing their track record, we need evidence. Patillo has qualified teams. Patillo, doesn't it meet the time requirements? Who says that they don't? We don't know that. Quality assurance and peer reviews. Can we get examples from both companies? Those are my comments for it, and my suggestion is that we change auditors.
Okay, thank you very much for your points, all valid. Any other discussion?
I'll go. I'm a little, she said 7 years, but I think you told me something more like 20, what years? Snow.
There was a break in the middle, yes. We had Patillo around once before.
Oh, is that it? Okay. It's still 20 years, but with some break in there. I understand. All right, so I think change is good, and I saw the same recommendations. I went and looked them up. My own, the company that I work for, we do it every 5 years as well, just for change and refresh, and so that our interface doesn't get too chummy, if I can say it that way. So I think change is good. I don't know if cost was a consideration. Do we say Patillo?
Patillo.
Patillo.
We are not allowed to use cost as a consideration in
Okay.
RFQ.
All right, fair enough. I heard the comment about how they're paid. That's fine with me too. So I think change for just change's sake, I'm not knowing except what you presented here, but that we've used them before, so that's good to know. I didn't realize that was the case. And I see your scoring. I appreciate that too. I meant to open by saying that I appreciate the objective scoring that you guys went through to try to come up with a recommendation on those objective numbers. So thank you for that. I see that you score them the same all the way through, Emmett, for both of those, both getting 94, a slightly lower average overall when you factor in the rest of the scoring, but that's going to be my recommendation as well next month.
Thank you, Mr. Bolden. Any other comments? All right, we will be voting on that next month.
Love that process. Thank you.
All right, we'll move along now to reports, and we will come along to the annual, pardon?
We forgot one.
Oh, okay, okay. That was in, okay. Approved school library collection procurement list.
And I'm going to start off just because Leah is not able to attend today. And so I know we have at least one board member that has some discussion up here. But this is a new process that we are going through based on the new legislative information that we got about how our district procures books. And so this is our first time. So I'm excited that we get to share with you all the process that we're using. And so I'll take any discussion.
May I?
Yes.
Okay, regarding SB 13. With the passing SB 13, Texas has now set standards for ISD library books. Texas has established safeguards, and all ISDs must adhere to them. ISDs can no longer acquire or retain materials deemed harmful, indecent, profane, sexually explicit, or perversely vulgar. The process for GISD is as follows. Teachers can submit a list of books they would like to see in the library. The district library coordinator reviews this book list and then provides the list to the trustees. Trustees are responsible for reviewing this list of books, and if they deem any are inappropriate, they can submit a book or books for further review by the district library coordinator. The most recent list of books for review totaled over 700 this month. The local school library council review committee was not adopted by GISD. Therefore, SB 13 responsibility falls on the district library coordinator and the trustees. Parents, you still have the right to challenge a book in GISD if you believe a book is inappropriate for your child's age. Additionally, GISD has established a plan so parents may select alternative library materials for their child. GISD will post online list of books to be purchased by GISD for the library. Parents, you have 30 days to review the list of books to be purchased for the libraries. This list can be found on the GISD website, and parents are notified when this list of proposed library books is posted. While parents are responsible for what their children read, GISD is responsible for what books are in the library for students to check out of the library, and therefore we all play a role in safeguarding our children from age-inappropriate material. May we all take this responsibility seriously, protect the minds and hearts of our students.
You want to say something?
Oh, yeah, I just want to say, so we worked hard to kind of get this process down, and it is new, and so they did have a list of 700 books to go through, and we did pull one to review a little later, and so, I just want the public to know that there is a process that I think is going to work well for us to have many layers to check to make sure that the books that we purchase going forward are appropriate. And I know we've done a lot of hard work, and so acknowledge the work that's been done in the past to be over communicative with families. Did you have any? And then that's all.
No, we do appreciate everybody that's involved in the system, and we do want to let our parents know that they most certainly are involved in this process, and we do appreciate their input. So thank you, Karen, for your remarks.
Just a little more comments. One, thanks for that. The process is good, and I like the process. So I concur. I think I like, in particular, I like that, that we err on the side of caution, that when anything is challenged, then we'll look at it separately and immediately. So I like that process. I sound like I'm gushing tonight because I keep giving you praise for everything, but under the new library process, I want to encourage parents to be engaged and to contact your trustees and to look at those that are posted online and let us know what you think of that. Be part of it.
All right, moving right along to reports. Once a year by law, we are.
We have to approve the list.
Oh, okay. I'm just in a hurry. Okay. All right.
So with my comments, I'll make the motion that we approve the list as presented.
All right. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right. We have a motion to approve the library list, and we have a second by Mr. Moore. All those in favor, raise your hand. All right. We have just approved 6-0. Now, can we move on? Okay. Okay. All right, moving right along. All right, we will move on to reports. And the first report is the one that we are required by law for continuing education reports for the Board of Trustees. And it is a report that is required that we have to say if we have met the requirements for board training. And this is the report.
I'm getting a scolding now. Look at the look. I get it.
And everyone on the board has met their requirements except for Mr. Bolton.
With one exception.
And Mr. Bolton has not met the requirements for the Open Meetings Act. He has not met the requirements for the cybersecurity. Huh? He has not met the requirements for the child abuse prevention. Would you care to explain?
No. I'm a busy guy.
So
I keep making promises that I'm going to.
we are. He is going to get it done. It is important. I know we're laughing up here because we have been communicating for a while with you about it. But it is important. We know it's an important part of a trustee job. And so we will continue to encourage you to get those, each one of those completed.
I'll do it. I'm sorry. I do take it seriously. I laugh because you guys know me and I laugh, but you know.
But you did go to training. This is really, I really don't. I really am confused. No, but everyone else exceeded expectations.
Exceeded.
And it is a reminder that the other ones, you did everything that you were supposed to do. So thank you. Yes, let's give them some applause.
Okay, give yourself a pat on the back, everybody. All right, we'll move on now to categorical spending. And from that, Mr. Whitefield, you may move on to financial statements and cash flow and investment.
Thank you, Ms. Lana. Board in front of you, you do have the categorical spending for information. These are purchases made between $50,000 and $100,000 that we do make purchases through a approved source that you've approved earlier on. The purchase was made through the buy board. It was the Branching Minds purchase, and it was for $91,223.50. If you have any questions, you could answer that. Moving on.
Proceed.
You do have the financials in front of you. These are for the month end, September 30th, 2025, for the general operating fund. These are expenditures that happen between September 1st, 2025 and September 30th, 2025. Revenue collected to date equals 11.41% of the budgeted amount compared to 4.8% in 24 and 25. Expenditures to date represent 11.19% of the budget as compared to 12.99% in 24, 25. And I don't see any thing that stands out to me on those particular things.
That's an improvement in both directions over last year.
Yes, sir.
I'm taking credit for that.
Yes, sir. Moving on. You do have your cash flow and investment report in front of you. This is the first month, so It is going to look a little bit different than the last month, which was through August. This is for September. We did collect $206,872.85 in interest for the month of September, and that is comparable to last year as well. And that is all I have.
Wait, does that count the monies that we collected interest from the 16 million?
Yes, sir.
But how's it so comparable to last
16
year? when we
million.
didn't have the 16
Currently,
million?
you can see, if you'll look at the very end column there on First Financial Bank, it's not an investment, but they give me the same rate as a Texaco. They say the same rate as Texaco. It's a little different, but they're giving me 4.3% in First Financial Bank. And you can see that I had 10 million starting at the first of the month, and I added the 6 million over there. It was in Lone Star, but I went ahead and moved it over into First Financial Bank, so it's all together. But it is that one is at 4.305% interest.
I was just,
Yes, ma'am. And it is working for us.
it is working for us.
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent job, Mr. Whitefield.
Excellent.
All right, with no further business, our meeting is adjourned.